Beginner's Tutorial.
Hey, what's going on everybody? Big J Gleez here, and we're going to get into combo strings in the next video for the Beginner's Tutorial of Mortal Kombat X. And we're going to look at Devora, and a lot of these concepts you can translate to other characters in the game. So the first thing is we need to find a string or a combo string that is safe on block. Alright, so we're going to go into the move list, and if you look where it says block ADV, that's block advantage. Alright, so we need to find something that is relatively close to 0. Alright, so right here we have 0, forward XX, forward XXY, that is minus 10 on block. So there are certain moves that will be able to punish that, but very few moves. It's not something that's extremely dangerous to use. But if you play against someone like Liu Kang or Kung Lao with his hat spin, characters that have very fast frames of startup for moves that link into combo, then you could be in trouble. If you play somebody that's a little slower, it still will work. But we're going to work with this string in particular here. So forward XX and forward XXY. Alright, so forward XX, you notice it's also advancing. So that's another good thing about this string. So if I'm at a distance at about here, I can still land that string. I don't have to be close up on this person. And that's always good to know because it allows me to play at a certain distance. So I know right here I can inflict damage. Alright, I don't have to be all up in my opponent's face. Alright, so that's one thing that I want to cover. And we'll get into spacing and zoning in another video, but that's just something that's positive about this string. Now, you notice you can land the 2 hits, and that's safe on block. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to go to AI options, and we're going to change this. I always do that. I always mess this up. We're going to change this to always. Alright, so if I were to land that string, I cannot be punished. He cannot attack before I can block. Alright, so it's just not going to happen. So I know that I can do this while someone's in block, and as long as they don't attack before my attack hits, alright, the frames of startup. So we'll look at the frames of startup for that forward X move. It's 12 on startup. Alright, so they need something that is quicker than 12 frames of startup. Low pokes, Kung Lao's spin. There's a few things that would hinder this if I were to just continue to do this. But for the most part, it's pretty safe. And if I feel like my opponent's going to do something, I can block. Now, the basics of stringing combos together. So right here we have this. All right. Now, if let's say my opponent is used to this, then I add that. All right. So most times, opponents will try to punish you when they're used to this, and they keep trying to inflict damage after the second hit. Alright, so now they try to inflict damage after the second hit, I add the Y. So then when they release block, it hits them. Alright, so that's a little mind game that you can play with these little strings that are, safe on block. Now at the end of a string, I can also add another hit, or in the middle of a string, I can add another hit, and that's with a special move. Alright, so you can cancel attacks into special moves. So the move that we're going to look at for this tutorial is the down back B. All right, it's I don't even know what was that. Avi, whatever that says. All right, it's down back B, and what it is that. All right, and we're going to link that at the end. So once someone gets used to this, and then once someone gets used to this, and they're blocking those, right? Then we can add the down back B. Alright, so then they'll release block possibly at that last hit and get hit by the down back B. Alright, so you can keep them guessing as to when the string is going to end, and a lot of times you can catch people releasing block in the middle of strings like that. Alright, so that's the first thing we're going to take a look at. And the next thing we're going to take a look at is popping people up, or launchers. And launchers are ways to extend combos, and to do that, we're actually going to take a look at Scorpion. Alright, so when we talk about launchers, launchers are things that bounce your opponent off the ground. So every character, neutral jump punch, is going to be a launcher. So you notice it launches the opponent, and then you're able to, combo off of that. So that's very basic. Alright, so I can combo off of that. Now you can add those in the middle of combos to extend combos, or you can start off an opponent like, or I'm sorry, a character like Kung Jin, who has that very long staff, or Jason, who has the very long sword. His neutral jump punch extends very far, so that's something that you probably will use a lot of if you are one of those characters. Someone like Scorpion, I'm not really going to use this very often. Alright, but just so you know, it's there. Now, to give you an example of how you might use it in the middle of combo, let's say I get someone with my spear and neutral jump punch, and then jump kick. Alright, so that would be an example of one way. If I get a little bit more advanced, we link the spear here, neutral jump punch, and then teleport. And we may also be able to extend the combo more. Alright, so we just extended the combo a little bit more there with more hits. Basically, having your opponent in the air leaves them susceptible to damage and leaves them susceptible to hits and strings. So we need to find things that launch. For Scorpion, fortunately, he has a string that launches particularly well, and it's YXB on Xbox, or 214 if you are a traditional Mortal Kombat player. So we'll see right here, it launches. Alright, now is there any way for me to run and reach him? There's definitely no way. He reaches the ground. So we're going to have to do what we did with Devora, and we have to cancel into our teleport. Alright, so that's how we're able to extend this particular combo with Scorpion. We have to cancel to a special move. Now, if you have a string with a character that you're trying to use and they launch at the end of the string, 9 times out of 10, now probably like 99 times out of 10, there is a way to extend that combo, either through using a special move and canceling out of the animation of the last hit, or you can run cancel to them. And basically with a run cancel, what you want to do is you just run and then cancel it with an attack. So if I were to, it's kind of tough to demonstrate with Scorpion. I could use that. All right, so if I were to launch this guy up with this, all right, I immediately want to go forward block, and then I don't have to hit anything after I do forward block. All right, basically it's like a dash and hit block during the dash, and then they run. All right, and you cancel the run by just hitting an attack, using an X-ray, using a throw. It doesn't matter. See that? See how I ran to him and then I just hit 1-1. All right, so that's basically what I did there. So if you have a character, Cassie Cage is a character that launches at the end of combos and forces you to run cancel back to the character to combo them. So we're going to do that one more time. All right, so we're able to run in and dash cancel. All right, so that extends it. Now, how can I extend this more? All right, we probably can link a spear in here, so let's try that. And we can. Alright, and right there, what you just saw, we're going to go over, and that is leaving our opponent in a stun. Alright, so we may want to end a combo. Well, actually, let's talk about it like this. We're going to talk about combo enders. Alright, so certain characters like Katana would want their character, or their opponent, to land full screen at the end of a combo. And a lot of her moves are set up that way. So the reason why that is because she's very good at zoning. And zoning is basically using projectiles in space to your advantage to cause your opponent to get out of position and put themselves in a situation where they're going to get comboed or punished. Alright, so for a character like Katana, a combo ender that launches all the way across the screen like that is probably ideal. For Scorpion, it's not. There are other characters that like to stay in close. So Aaron Black would probably want a combo that ends close. And a lot of his combos end close or launch the opponent and keep them close to your character purposely. It's done that way purposely by design because that's the way the character is designed to be used and that's their strength. So for Scorpion, the best way to end the combo is what's called leaving your opponent in hit stun, or other people might call it a reset or a mix-up situation. Alright, so basically what that is, that's when I can hit my opponent and be at advantage on frame data after hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these special moves here. And most characters have a situation or a move where they can be positive on hit to end the combo. Now, it may not be the most damaging combo, but it leaves you in a situation to reset the combo and start it again, which at times can be ideal. Teleport, down back A. So on hit, you'll see that it is hit ADV or hit advantage is 18 frames. And when it lands, you see it leaves my opponent in a stun. See how he's like moving all over the place before he regains control of himself? Alright, so we're going to end the combo that way. And when we end a combo that way, we can attack the opponent without them being able to attack us. They basically have to eat the attack. Alright, so if I wanted to do that, they have to eat it. They can block it, but they have to eat the attack. They can't avoid it. Alright, so let's say I were to spear here, come in. Now I have, in that situation right there where I hit with that teleport, I have options. And these are what our options are going to be. Since our opponent cannot move, we can go overhead. Alright, that's just forward 4 or forward B. Alright, overhead. And this move links to spear, so it allows us to reset the combo. Alright, so we can combo for more damage at that point. We also have the option of going low. Alright, so we can go low, and we can also link that to spear. Alright, and that allows us to extend the combo and reset the combo. So our damage, again, starts at 0, which allows us to basically go for another full combo. We also have the option of throwing. Alright, so that is our third option in that situation. Another option, since this is a little bit slow, sometimes players can react to this. Sometimes what I'll actually do is I'll teleport and I'll go forward 2, and that's the overhead smash. And then when they get up, I can do this and start the combo again. It keeps my opponent close. Alright, so I like that kind of ender with Scorpion. So if I hit them with a combo and end it with that, and then they get up and bang right there. Alright, so I can start the combo again. So knowing how to end your combos, whether you want them at full screen, depending on your character, a character like Katana, again, like I said, would want to launch their opponent full screen. So now I can zone with my fans. A character like Scorpion wants to mix up as much as possible and keep their opponent close. So we're going to end with that and then possibly mix up with, some type of throw or an overhead low into another combo. And then you have other characters that like to play somewhat of a mid-range game. Characters like Ermac are very good at that because his moves, especially his lift, hits, it's mid. It only goes about halfway across the screen. So in mid-range, he's very good. If I were to change the version of Scorpion that I'm using from Inferno, I might like a mid-range game because I have then swords that can reach, from out here. Just like we just went over with Devora, how Devora can move forward with that string, how she can attack from about here and land that string. I don't really have anything like that with Scorpion except for this. That's the only move that I have that can do that. Everything with Scorpion is like right here. Like I have to be all up inside my opponent's grill to inflict damage. Alright, even with that, it doesn't reach, even though he moves forward. So there aren't many things with Scorpion that allow you to play distance games with your opponent in the Inferno variation. But like I said before, if you wanted to use I think it's the ninjutsu, the one with the swords. Alright, so we have the ninjutsu Scorpion here. And just to show you kind of what I'm talking about, how this Scorpion doesn't have to be all the way inside, and some characters, depending on their moves, don't have to be inside to inflict damage. I can attack from all the way out here. Alright, see that? So I can attack from here, and again, this is a what? I feel like I'm teaching. Sorry, like I'm teaching the kids right now. This is a what? This is a launcher, exactly. So that's what I would say. So this is a launcher, so we can start combo here. Alright? And then we can end it, again, with the mix-up. Alright, so we can constantly mix up. If I wanted to end the mix-up with a throw, I can stay at distance. Alright, so I can stay here. And the reason why it is because I can still inflict damage and, combo out here. We also have the mid hit right here, which is very good for keeping range as well. Alright, so it all depends on, your character, how you want to end combos, and it's oftentimes a good thing to sacrifice some damage, a few percentage points of damage, to put your opponent where you want them. Putting your opponent where you want them is key, and that's a whole part of zoning. And we're going to get to zoning in the next video, and we're also going to do a video on wake-up situations, meaning our character is on the ground and, you know, this guy here is on the offensive, and we're going to go over both sides, the character that's on the ground and the offensive character in that situation. So those are going to be the next couple videos that are going to be released for this guide. So I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I will be sure to answer them. So thanks for checking in. It's Big J Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong. If you like this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to stay tuned for future videos in this series. Also check out my other Mortal Kombat X videos by clicking down below in the description. Thanks for checking in, and continue to game strong.